Hey guys, so I'm just jumping off of that the last video here. Um, I would suggest maybe watching that before you watch this. But I might actually back up a little ways here. I'm probably just gonna stay in the truck because it is windy as all heck. Back up a little bit so I can show you what we got here. So, all right, last video we talked about, we got two buildings here that are coming down. We're gonna try and do that hopefully within the next couple of days here. Needs to be a little bit less windy. It's pretty windy. And then I want to talk about our plans here. Now there's a few parts to this. I don't know how much I'm going to discuss in this video. I'll try and keep it semi-short because I know it's not interesting for some of you. And for me to talk for half an hour, I could probably talk about half an hour. I'm not gonna make any of you watch me talk for that long. So we've decided within the last year or so that we want to start looking at grain storage. Now this is one thing I said something to Dad years ago, and I don't really remember what the response was, but I know it was enough that I was like, all right, never gonna mention that to him again. Basically, I think he kind of was like, well, you don't make any money with them, or something like that. And over the years, I've watched a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube channels, and a lot of them have bins, and even a couple of them have even discussed why a guy would build a grain bin, and even like got it down to numbers and all that. And that really opened my eyes. But I think what kind of opened Dad's eyes finally was with the corn price being so low, and obviously what happens during the market. Well, during the fall, it's kind of being flooded at the time. There's a lot of corn coming in. A lot of guys, they're combining or they're hauling it in. Some guys are drying it and hauling it in. There's just a lot of corn moving at that time. And so the price is a little bit low. At that time, the mills and the ethanol plants and all that, they don't need any corn really. They're getting enough in, so the price is down here. And a lot of guys need to sell something in the fall just to cover inputs and whatnot. But then usually as you go from the fall, you go through winter and into spring, well, then you end up seeing a little bit of a market jump. The the ethanol plants and all that, they're starting to maybe look at needing a little bit more corn. And I don't know how beans are. We really haven't. I don't follow the bean market as much as the corn market, I guess. But what I'm getting at is, a lot of times the price in the fall and the price in the spring are completely different. Usually the spring is higher. Now, you never know with markets and whatnot. And that's kind of the beauty in disguise of a grain storage, is you have more control over what price you're getting. Now, sometimes it's either low or lower, but a lot of times it could be, low in the fall and high, and that's exactly what we've seen this year. Um, corn price was down. I think we sold a lot of our corn for $3, and within the last month or two, it's been hitting almost $5. I think I've heard of guys selling for more than $5. And we could have made a lot of money this year if we would have had grain bins. So what we're going to do here, we're going to change our whole operation in a way. The steer's behind me. We're going to change the steer ration. I think we're going to talk to somebody and really figure it out. But we're no longer going to chop silage. We're not going to chop any silage, and we're gonna switch them over to shell corn, or corn in general, dry corn, and either a pellet or a protein source. That we really haven't decided yet what we're gonna do there. We got till the fall at least to kind of figure it out. So we decided we're not going to chop any corn. We're not going to do any high moisture corn. We're going to do just a straight dry corn. And the reasoning for that is with the markets that the way they are, with $5 corn being the current price, to put $5 corn through steers right now is kind of a tough situation. We don't know if we should be feeding any corn to our steers. For $5 corn, if we could get $5 corn, we'd rather sell the $5 corn, and just do it that way. It's a lot less work, and the profit margin for corn would be higher than feeding it to steers. Now, lately the price of steers has actually been up. So that's, if the price would stay where it's at for steers, we might have to change up our ideas here. So say the price of corn right now is $5. If it stays there for the next couple years, hopefully it does. It would be pretty cool. They're kind of predicting that it will. We have a bin full of $5 corn. We can sell it anytime. We can feed some steers. We'll probably downsize a little on the steer end, just because that's just how, you got to kind of follow the markets. You don't want to jump into things too fast, but just kind of, what makes sense at this current time. So say corn stays at $5. We'd probably rather sell corn for $5. If corn would drop down to $3, we might be better off feeding steers. Well, with the bin, we have a lot of flexibility in what we do with the corn. We can either store the corn and sell the corn, or we can feed the corn out. If the price drops down to $3 again, all we got to do is buy a bunch of steers, and we're running corn through our steers again. If it stays up, well, we cut back on the steers, we sell more corn. Just our current idea. So what we're going to do here, we've kind of calculated everything out. We're going to have storage for every single bushel of corn that we, as of right now, should have on the farm, and then some. We'll have plenty of more room if we'd have a really good year and have more corn than usual. And we're kind of guesstimating when we're not chopping corn or putting anything in the silo. We kind of guesstimated on what we actually actually grow and combine or would combine over our acreage here. So what we've come up with is we need about 60,000 bushel worth of storage. And so that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to put up a 60,000 bushel bin. That's dry storage. And we're going to put up a 10,000 bushel dryer bin. Now, what would be the difference between a dryer bin and just a regular dryer? A lot of money. With just a dryer, you need to have a wet bin, a dryer, and a storage bin. Looking at, we priced that out first, knocked the price down a little bit. It was still pretty high, and it's just like, how much do we really want to spend? And then we discussed a few things and decided to price out just a dryer bin, and that was about 100,000 less. So that's what we're gonna do. Is it the best option? No, I would say a dryer is probably a better system. However, if we want to get to that point, the dryer bin can then be turned into the wet bin, and then we just have to plumb it through the dryer and then up to the dryer or up to the storage bin. If it happens, it happens. Right now we're just looking at now. Are we going to gain any more acreage? Hopefully, maybe in the future. Will we? That's a big question mark. You just don't know what the future holds anymore. It's a tough time to live in, I guess. We don't know what the future holds. But as far as the future goes, we're setting up for future generations here. That's kind of what we're shooting for. I don't know if my kids are going to want to farm, but if they do, well, we got a pretty darn good system going here. And, and that's that. Why did we decide to put up or plan for a 60,000 bushel bin and not maybe start a little smaller? It's cheaper to just go all out and do it rather than coming back in a couple years and say we put up a 20,000 bushel and then a year from now we go, man, we could really use 20,000 bushel more. And so we put up another 20,000, and then, a couple years from now, well, we could really use another 20,000 bushel. And then next thing you know, you got 20,000 bushels where you could just stick, punch yourself in the gut once and put up a 60,000 bushel. And you got one bin to worry about. We're kind of new to grain bins. The bigger bins made me a little bit leery, but after talking to people, I think that's the best situation. You want to kind of keep the corn running out of all. If you have a bunch of bins, you want to make sure you're taking corn out of all of them to, prevent any issues you might have. And if we have one 60,000 bushel, well, figure we take a load out a week, which we could take a load out a week, probably take, probably, I don't know what we're really planning. So we're going to get these buildings down within the next couple of days here. That's the plan. And then we need to start kind of cleaning up the area here. We are in charge of the site prep, so we need to dig down, and we're supposed to bring in some breaker rock and some driveway gravel or clear stone or whatever they call it, and really make a nice foundation. And then a crew will come in at some point this summer, set up, and they'll cement the bases, I guess. There's two of them. And then as of right now, they told us about September 1st. They could be up here putting bins up. Well, I guess we'll see. I don't know. It's going to be a big learning curve for us, but we're going to have a whole lot more flexibility in what we do with our crop, and we more control. That's exactly what we're going to have, is more control. If we can go either way. We can either feed it to the steers, or we can haul it into the ethanol plant. And we're going to be able to dry it ourselves, which is going to save us money there in a way, because we can dry corn for pretty cheap here, doing it yourself. And so yeah, that's our goal, is to have just more control over our income, I guess you could say. And when we're not going to be seeing all our income in the fall, we can spread it out a little bit, play the tax game, as farmers like to do. Pay for prepay and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll keep in touch with you guys over the course. It's probably going to be a little while. Maybe I'll get some shots here when we're taking these buildings down, and hopefully this weekend we can get a good chunk of this cleaned up, and start maybe some site prep. We want to get the buildings done before we plant corn, and then I suppose we can come in at a later time and prep the sites for them. And yeah, so throughout the summer and into the fall, we're going to be seeing some pretty big changes around here. And yeah, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're excited to see some changes and see some new life on the farm here, or new things on the farm. And I know I'm kind of excited. I think like I said, I've kind of wanted to have grain bins on the farm for a long time, and that's not to mention that the grain bins are very dangerous, and I know we are aware of all the dangers. And actually, the company that we're going through, we're talking to the salesman. He said, if you ever have any issues with anything and you need to enter the bin, we're supposed to call them, walk them through the scenario. They'll kind of decide if it's safe for us to enter, or if they need to come out and try and do it in a more safely manner. I do really appreciate that they're willing to do that. They're looking out for their customers. So anyways, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.